So I just returned home from the library. The United States government is gang stalking me. They have 2448 Leah Patrice Jones Menace, the Tomb Sleepers, fake wife, Bahamas Prime Minister's fake wife, banging on, tapping on the walls. That's all she's done since she moved in. She doesn't go anywhere. She doesn't go anywhere. She doesn't leave the house. She sits and taps on the wall all day, all night long for the FBI Threat Liaison Center. And then over to the other side, we have the 11 visa exchange students from various countries approved through the visa exchange program, violating immigration laws, banging nonstop on the wall, participating in a crime, RICO at that. So basically, not only should they be kicked out of the country, they should be banned from entering any other country. However, the United States government uses them. Now, I told you guys about a program in Georgia that they just arrested or charged a department because they have individuals claiming they're victims of crime just to get visas. So basically, that's what the government has the neighbors doing next door because they have the two women staying there. Catherine Grace, they moved her somewhere, so they have the two women renting from her, and they have them banging nonstop on the walls to my home. Now they also file fraudulent police reports against me, so I'm not sure if they're using that as a reason to stay in the United States illegally, but that's what's going on. So you have the you have the connections to the hospital and Raphael Warnock, Senator Warnock. That's why they moved them next door because they Warnock. And then I just realized that one of my advisors, who's also an alpha, or his wife is an alpha, I had to meet him somewhere to have to discuss business. And this is when I was working for the insurance carrier I was working for. And he told me to meet him at a Starbucks. Turns out I've been driving by that Starbucks. That Starbucks says Peachtree Battle. So that's where he wanted me to meet him at, Peachtree Battle. And his wife would show up at advisor events and she would sit across from me just staring at me. Like like basically gang stalking me, what the neighbors are currently doing right now. So like I said, they started this nonsense a long time ago. They're just continuing the process, and I'm just alerting you guys so you can tie all the knots together. I already did. I know what's going on. They're basically, this is the government instituting psychological warfare on their civilians that are educated and read the Bible. And they're using other civilians to do that, not only from the Bahamas, but also from other countries because the two individuals next door are Asian. So this is what I'm dealing with right now. It goes on nonstop 24/7. The court refuses to do anything because, of course, they added the federal public defender, Timothy P. O'Hara, who I already told you lives 7 minutes from Seth Rothschild. So he refused to issue any type of sanctions on them for their collusion. He's coordinating with them, so of course, why would he issue any sanctions? Judge Bremer's not going to do anything because he's been adding the conflicted mattresses to the case. For some reason, he hated me before the case even started, and he's just using this as a reason to continue to create discourse. I never did anything to the dude, none of them, absolutely none of them. They just took it upon themselves to basically hate individuals. At the time, I wasn't reading my Bible as much that I am now because I didn't realize there were so many evil, wicked, and dark forces in the world because I wasn't raised properly by my parents to understand the wickedness in the world. But there's a lot of wickedness, and it's coming from the United States government and also from the court system. And then they're paying individuals off to target and terrorize you because they call it, remember when they had this whole thing on, oh, the person's woke, they're woke, they're woke. This is what this is all about. You know, that I'm intelligent enough to realize that these people, something's wrong with them mentally, they're tapped mentally. And what they do is they go around targeting and terrorizing people and then lying about it and then filing fraudulent police reports. And this is being done with senators, congressmen, the White House, FBI, DOJ, GBI said there's nothing wrong with what they're doing. So, like I said, I'm not the only person they're doing this to. It's just a matter of time before the public realizes and wants to ask more questions like, okay, well, you said this person died. Did this person pass away or was they murdered by some actions that you sent one of your gang stalkers behind them? Did they have any pending lawsuits? You never know. So remember the guy from Boeing, his attorney said he was murdered when he went to the deposition or whatever the final meeting was, and then they said they have no clue what was going on. Long story short, we know he was murdered. We know that Boeing killed him, and we know that United States government also had something to do with it. That's why everybody right now is like, oh, we don't know. Da, 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 da. It's a lie. And even his attorney's a criminal too. His attorney probably had him gang stalked, told them to stay at that location. The dude assured him that he was going to be okay. Didn't realize his attorney's part of the gang stalking program. Had him come to an out of state location so he can be murdered out of town. United States government, this is what they do. You heard it here first.